Do you want to learn martial arts? Do you hate rich people? Do you want to be a dragon? If you answered yes to any of these questions, like me, then this video is for you. I struggle with picking a main in fighting games, so I'm on a journey of self-discovery to figure out who in Tekken 8 is the perfect match for me. Whether it's your first time here or you're a returning guest, welcome to The Quest for a Main. Today's episode features the one, the only, martial arts teacher and dragon,
Come and get some. I dare you.
Martial Law.
Do you want to learn martial arts?
Let's clear something up before we start. Law is a character I have always hated since my first introduction to the Tekken series, which admittedly is not that long ago. Whether it was Maxi in Soul Calibur, Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, Fei Long in Street Fighter, or Law himself, I can only handle so many Watas and Hoyas before I lost it. At least while I was on the receiving end. To be honest, I avoided playing these characters mostly because I was afraid of actually enjoying their playstyle. But as fate would have it, I found myself playing Law after doing a random select gauntlet with some friends. And even though all I did was slide at them, regardless of whether it hit or not, I found myself enjoying it way too much. So I decided that I would commit to learning the character, just to make sure I didn't like the rest of his kit. I'm sure you can all see where this is going. Yeah! I really like playing Law. Okay, so let's talk about the character. The first thing I usually think of when I think of Law is his slide. At first, it seemed kind of gimmicky to me, and when I first tried him out, I was definitely trying to gimmick my friends with it a lot. But as they learned to block it, I grew frustrated that I couldn't do anything about it, until I accidentally did a wall rising 2 from the crouch dash. In that moment, my third eye opened, and I learned exactly what the mental stack was when playing this character. And it was far too powerful in my hands. Then once I learned some combos, a couple frame traps, and some other shenanigans, I truly understood what it meant to learn martial arts. With the only experience I had with Law being random select and seeing him in some tournaments that I was watching, I had to start learning him from scratch. I mean, I knew how to slide, but that was about it. So instead of button mashing my way to Mighty Ruler, I decided that I'd look up some combos, watch some high-level gameplay more closely, and practice with my friends a little bit more seriously to really hone my skills. One thing I picked up on that really made my time with Law much easier was using his forward 1+2 Dragon Hammer into wall standing 4 into his Dragon Stance forward 1. Okay, that was a lot, so let's rewind and break that down really quick. Forward 1+2, or Law's Dragon Hammer, is a +3 on block move that if you hold down while you do the animation, it will leave you in crouch. Being +3 and in crouch means we can do a wall rising 4 and hold forward during the animation. This will put us into our Dragon Stance. Then if you keep your timing really tight and you do forward 1 out of this stance, it will do a heat engaging mid. If at any point during this sequence they mash jab or anything slower than 10 frames, they're gonna get punished for it. And it honestly carried me so hard into Mighty Ruler. Another simple and easy frame trap option is your wall running 3. This move is +6 on block, which is perfect for you to do just about anything you really want. I personally prefer down forward 2 since it's a safe on block launcher, but you do you. Back 2, 3, 4, and down 2, 3 were really good strings to get some counter hit launchers on mash happy gamers. Down 2, 3 was especially great because it's an 11 frame crouch move, so you duck highs and can launch on counter hit. Back 2, 3, 4 was an excellent option for the people who mashed after the first hit of every string, but I wasn't really good at doing any optimal combos with it, so I didn't use it as much as I probably should have. Other things I used to beat people out was using 4, 3, 4 into the stance, and then I could use forward 3 to armor through the retaliation and get a heat engager. Any move that can go into the stance works, but this is the one I use the most, even if it's not really the best for it. And it was pretty successful. Best part is too, is if you counter hit with it, it leads into a launcher that you can get a really awkward but still useful combo off of. Back 1, 2, 2 is another fun string since you can delay each hit of it by a lot and really mess with your opponent's timing. I managed to catch a lot of people out by delaying the last hit ever so slightly and could continue the pressure with our Dragon Hammer frame trap after the heat engage. In this series, I want to try avoiding combos too much since there are plenty of other combo guides out there that you can use for whatever character you're trying to learn. But they are still a part of the character, so I'm going to try and touch on them just briefly, but I'm not going to go into too much depth on what combos I used. And the thing I'll say about Law's combos is that I was worried that he wasn't really going to be doing a whole lot of damage at first, but once I started to learn the more difficult and optimal combos, I realized he's just as much damage as everybody else that I play. And another beneficial part of Law is that his combos have a really natural wall carry built into them. And his wall combo, also pretty easy to do, and it does a ton of damage. Okay, now let's talk about his slide. Just like with every other character that has a slide, the idea that I've picked up on is to use the crouch dash stance to threaten the actual slide, but then mixing up other wall rising mids to get in their head. For Law, wall standing 2 is great, but it sometimes can be a bit too slow to catch them before they stand back up. So, using our previous frame trap example with the Dragon Hammer, if we do wall standing 4, hold forward and do forward 1, then we have that same thing that we've been doing before, and it can catch a lot of people out. Of course, hop kicking and the spin flip kick, I don't know what you'd call it, are both really great options as well. And the mental stack of landing this move is immense. There were so many times I could feel the rage in my opponents after hitting them with just a few slides at the beginning of a round. I also had a bit too much fun using goofy moves like wall rising 3+4, his up back 3 into the slide, and of course, his forward 2+3, I'm a dragon throw. So with all of this in mind, how do I feel about Law? Could he really be my next main?
I'm a dragon.
So far, this is the fastest I've ever ranked up on a character. Going from Garyu to Mighty Ruler took me a single 2-hour session. For some context, in my June video, I recorded 7 hours of footage and 4 of those hours were actually useful footage, despite some of the audio getting corrupted in the end. I only have this single 2-hour recording of Law and the recording I did to show off his moves. That's it. And that's including matchmaking queue times, loading screens, and any other breaks I might have taken to get water or go to the bathroom. Okay, but that doesn't say anything about my actual thoughts on Law. Mr. Martial Law is a really, really fun character to play. Honestly, I love him a ton. He's got all the tools I value in terms of good frame traps, good armor moves, satisfying combos, great aggression, very strong mental game, and he's a dragon. Hello? How many times do I have to say it in this video? He's a dragon! So what are the downsides? What are his cons? Well, at first, I thought it was going to be his combo damage. But as I talked about earlier, that already got kind of dispelled once I picked up some good combos. Really ended up just being a skill issue. Then after that, my next excuse was just, well, it just feels like a lot of his moves are too short range. I was honestly just whiffing at ranges where other characters would normally be able to hit. But again, it was a skill issue. So all I had to do was just get in closer, stay in their face, and everything was much better from there. So I guess there are only really 2 things I can think of. One, he still sounds annoying after a while. Even then, it's still grown on me just a little bit because I know it's annoying my opponents more than myself. The second point, he has too many funny buttons. I get tempted by them. They're not good, but they're so funny if you actually hit someone with it. Like honestly, my goal in the future at some point is to do the up back 3 backflip, do a crouch dash, and then do a wall standing 3+4 just to get a kill. It would be so ridiculous, I think I would peak in that moment. Which, saying out loud, is actually kind of sad, but don't focus on that. So the verdict, is Law a potential candidate for a main? Absolutely. This goofball of an in-debt martial arts instructor has found a special place in my heart. The depth of this character runs deep, and I honestly can see myself getting lost in training mode just trying to figure out everything about Law. Yet, he's just simple enough that if you wanted to just pick him up and have a good time, you're absolutely valid for doing that. Whether you're in for the long haul or just a quick fling, he's a fun time. I'll give him 4.5 I'm a Dragons out of 5. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know by leaving a like. And if there's a character that you want to see me try out in the series, comment down below. I have 2 other characters that I'm already working on videos for now, but I would still love to hear your feedback. I am a woman of the people after all. If you want to see the rest of the series as it comes out, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss an upload. See you later, bye bye!